Alrighty. Cool, we got some people hopping on. Today we are going to focus a lot on our hip flexors. It's going to be heavy on the hip flexors today. I know when you guys are sitting all day, it gets nice and bunched up. So we're going to really focus on stretching these nice front hip flexors. So make sure you have some room. We're going to start with just our upper body and then make our way down to the floor for some really fun hip flexor stretches. All right, let's do it. Let's start standing and just start getting our body a little bit warm. So let's bring those arms all the way up, reach, and slowly rock it side to side. And then bring those arms out to the side. Hinge it forward. So stick the tailbone back, hinge right at the hips, feel the stretch behind those hamstrings, and bring it back up. And again, bring it down. You have a nice little bend in the knees too if you need it. And bring it back up. Take those arms, bring them all the way up and around to the back 3 times. And then repeat to the front. Take it nice and slow. And then take the chin to the chest and rotate, nice head roll to the right. Notice any spots of tension. If you find a spot, go ahead and hold it in that position. And then repeat to the other side. 2 to 3 head rolls. Finding a spot that is tight and you can hold it and then keep it going. Good. From here, take those hands on our hips. And we're just going to take our hips and we're just going to rock them side to side. Keeping the legs straight. You can have a little bend in the knees if you want. We're just going to rock and press those hips through the sides. As you're pressing, you should start to feel a stretch on the inner sides of the thighs as well. I'm a little teapot. Short hands down. That's what it feels like. And then take those hips and press them forward. Nice strong stance. Press through. And then again, just bring them back. Hinging right at the hips. Nice flat back. Core is pulled in. And then press them right through. For those of you who are just hopping on, we are going to be focusing a lot on our hip flexors today. And bring it back. We're going to do some nice circles around with the hips. To the right side, bring it around town 3 times. Having tight hip flexors will affect so much of your everyday life, not only your squat form and low back pain. So we want to make sure they're nice and stretched and open. And then go ahead and grab that right foot, grabbing right behind the ankle. Keep that knee in line. Test your balance here too. Get a nice gentle pull. And switch side, left leg. Good. From here, if you want to hold on to something close by, or you can do it without it, you're going to take your right leg, throw in some leg swings. So keeping both knees slightly bent. This is just more for mobility. We want to warm up that hip flexor just a bit and our hip. And switch legs. Really letting gravity kind of do the work here. Doesn't need to have any rhyme or reason, just letting it swing front and back. Try not to let yourself arch in the back anyway. Try to keep the torso nice and straight. And place it back down. Take that right foot, plant the heel into the ground, scoop the hips back, pull the toes up towards you. Slowly making our way down to the ground, down the body. Same thing with the left foot. Sit it back and stretch it out. All right. We're going to make our way down to our mat. So we're going to start on our hands and knees. Take it nice and slow. Walk it all the way down onto the hands and knees. And we're going to just rock it back to a child's pose and reach those arms out. And then bring it back up to all fours. We are going to walk the knees out a little bit wider than our hips apart. And then same thing, we're going to rock it back to that child's pose. So now our legs are much wider. And then bring it back up. Walk the knees back in so that they're underneath your hips. And then from here, this one is also a test of balance. We're going to grab that right foot. This is a challenge. See if you can grab it. It's like we're doing yoga today, guys. You just want to try to reach for it. If you need to go down onto your elbow for more stability, you can. We just want to stretch that quad, but we want to have it on more of an angle so that it's also stretching our hip flexor. And hold it. If you fall out of it, that's okay. Bring it right back up and then bring it back down. Come back to a neutral position and breathe. These ones are a little bit challenging today. We're gonna do the same thing with that left leg. Reach it back. And if this is as far as you go, that's as far as you go. If you want to bring it up as high as you can until you start to feel it in the top of that quad. Holding here. And then bring it back down. And now we're going to bring that right knee out in front of us in for a little bit of a pigeon. Wherever that leg is comfortable. And from here, can you bend that back leg? Same type of position. We want to pull that foot up. It's okay if it doesn't go anywhere. Make sure that knee is still facing down on the mat. We don't want it turned out. Try to pull it straight down to the ground. Not everybody's going to have the same flexibility. And then release. We're going to do the same thing on the other leg. Pull that left knee up and underneath so that you can get your hips pretty much square to the front. We want them still facing forward and down. And then bend that right knee. If this is as far as you can go, holding right here, that's okay. And then go ahead and take that hand, give it a nice little pull, make it a little bit harder. Feel that stretch. And release. Bring both legs back and bring the hips down to a nice high cobra. I guess you could call it that. We want to walk the hands in. And from here, we want to make sure that our hip bones are lifting off towards the ground. And breathe. And then from here, rock it back onto the knees. All the way back to our child's pose. Reach those arms out. And back up, hands and knees. We are going to go into a froggy stretch. So we're going to take our feet and our knees, just like when we were rocking back in our wide child's pose, we're going to just bring the knees further out. They're sliding out, out, and out. So it's kind of a funny angle, but essentially you want them to go out as far as you can get them comfortably. So keeping your ankles in line with your knees, just let them slide out and then drop it down onto the elbows if you can. You can drop it down onto the elbows If that's a little bit too much stretch for you, you can keep it back up on the hands. And you can experiment with rocking very slowly and gently forward and back. And you'll feel it start to stretch a couple different areas in that inner groin area. This is a very intense stretch. It can be very delicate, so we want to stretch very lightly here. It's a lot easier on a mat or on carpet rather than a hardwood floor where your legs just slide out and you get stuck. And then slowly inhale, slide those knees back in, and rock it back to your child's pose one more time. And back up. We're going to take that right leg and bring it out in front of us, making sure that that right foot is a little bit further out in front of our knee, and then slide that leg forward. Pressing that left hip down and keeping it straight to the front, so we don't want it turned out, we want it square. Press it down. Nice big deep breath. And inhale. We're going to rock it back, flex that right foot, and stretch the entire right leg. And breathe, relax, bring it back. We're going to do the same thing with the left leg. Bring it up. Left leg comes out in front. Keeping those hips square to the front, we're going to lean forward and press it down and hold. And inhale back, stretch that left leg, flex the foot. Good, bring it back. Going on to our next little stretch is going to be staying on our hands and knees. What we're going to do is we're going to take our right leg. It's going to extend out to the side with the knee facing forward, so you're on that inner part of your foot. I want you to just slide that leg out nice and straight. And from here, I want you to walk those hands away from the body one way. So we want to stretch this nice line on our rib cage and our lower back. It's going to stretch right into those armpits as well. And then walk it right back in line. And then from here, you're going to take that foot, make sure the toes are off the ground if you can, and rock it back onto that leg and reach it forward. Stretching the inside of that leg, staying on top of your other knee. And then bring it back up and in, replace it with the left leg. So from the side, left leg comes out to the side. And then what we're going to do is just walk it away, get a nice little stretch on this side. I'm going to try not to hit my head on my closet. And then walk it right back in front. And then sit those hips back like you're doing a child's pose, but with one leg out to the side. And hold it there, take some nice deep breaths. And bring it back in. Slide both legs out, lay flat on the belly. And we are going to do a little basket pose. And don't quote me on that because I don't know for sure if that's what it is. We want to grab the hands behind the feet. If this is enough stretch for you, stop right here. If you want to take it up a notch, you can try to lift the knees and chest off the ground. And then bring it back down. And again, you can also lift it up and hold. And bring it down and relax. Bring it up through your cobra and then up through child's pose. And inhale, come up to a seated position wherever is comfortable. Take that right hand, shake it out. Bring the arm out in front of you. Take the fingertips down towards the ground. Give it a nice light pull back towards you. Same thing with that left hand. Bring it out, pull the fingertips back gently. Hands together, pressing the palms down, and then fingertips down towards the ground. Hold it here. And shake it out. And enjoy the rest of your Thursday. I hope you guys are feeling good. It's almost the weekend. Hang in there.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.